Hey, what's up guys? This is Martin here from Kodiak. Your favorite chat from Poland is back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So today, this is actually video number 201 for me. So this is going to be a special one. I want to talk to y'all about the 5 amazing things about living in Poland. And this is stuff that people don't talk about nowadays, guys. And I'm half Polish, half Norwegian, to those of you that don't know. And I've been living here for the past 2 years. And believe me, the more I travel the world, the more I live in different countries or cities, the more I'm actually appreciative of the fact that I'm Polish. So, I'm just going to share with y'all 5 points that I believe are really, really true when it comes to Poland. So, without further ado, let's just get straight to the video. Alright, so let's roll. The very, very first thing that we have to talk about here is the safety of the country. Because Poland, believe it or not, Poland is incredibly safe. Poland has some very, very low crime rates. The homicide rates are very low, and even Dominik Tarczynski talks about this all the time. Poland, I believe, is the only country that hasn't had a terrorist attack for the last 30 years. Even our neighbors, Czechia, they had a little attack last year, or 2 years ago, back in Prague, with this young guy that had this little, the mass massacre in Prague. He killed a whole bunch of people. But Poland is really, really safe. It's incredibly safe. For a lot of women especially, they can walk alone at night and no one's going to bother them, no one's going to stop them, and I love it. Even myself, I can walk alone at night, and I'm a big guy, alright, so it doesn't really concern me too much, but the fact of the matter is, Poland is very safe, particularly when it comes to countries like the United States, even Germany, our neighbors. Germany is not a safe country. It is really, regressing when it comes to this. And like even this guy told me this. He said to me that because he's an American. He told me that, hey, he lives in Warsaw, by the way. He's a programmer. He told me, hey, Martin, I can literally walk alone at night and no one's bothering me. We have no crime-infested areas. I'm safe. I don't need a gun. Like, what the hell is wrong here? Like, this is a completely different world compared to what I'm used to. And I was like, yeah, that's right. This is Poland for you. And that's a really positive benefit, in my opinion, because Polish people don't appreciate it. Polish people think that the grass is always going to be greener on the other side. But that's not the case. Which actually leads me to my next point, which is Poland has a very, very good economy. It is growing. Like, I actually left Poland 20 years ago. My dad left Poland because he was looking for jobs, right? He found a job in Norway, and Poland was poor at the time. We just joined the European Union at the time, and it was not Poland was not having a thriving economy. People were struggling, like literally. Some people were living in complete poverty, but now this has changed. Particularly, especially in these bigger cities like Warsaw, Poznan, Wrocław, right? I live in Szczecin, which is, more on the northwest side of Poland. But Warsaw is definitely a rich city. There's some guys who, I've gotten these comments on my videos from, in the past. They told me, hey, Poland is a poor country. Poland is a shithole. No, you don't know what you're talking about. Come to Poland, because I know there's a lot of Americans out there, Americans and, some British people who believe that, they can just come here with their $1,000, $2,000, and they're gonna ball. No, you're not gonna be balling here with with your $2,000. There's people here who have so much money, and bro, you're broke here. You think that $2,000 is a lot of money here? No, like those times are gone. They're long gone. You think you can just come here with your little menial money? No. But this is a great thing, because if you have a great if you have a great idea, you're skilled, you have a degree in something, that means you can make some real good money here. Particularly if you work for a foreign company. Yeah, definitely. You're not going to struggle here financially, because one of the best ways to identify if a country is actually rich is you need to look at things like how far your money actually gets you. Like, for instance, Like the cost of living. Some people say that Poland is an expensive country. No, no. But we're going to get back to it. One of the easiest ways you can find out if a country is actually rich is to look at its economy. Are people actually affording things? Can people pay for stuff with cash? Yes. A lot of people have money here. It comes down to purchasing power. If you have a good job, or if you're making money overseas, or with the foreign currency, you can have a really good life here. Believe me. And you don't need to make that much money. Like if you were to ask me what's a good salary in Poland, I would tell you probably in most Polish cities, I would say 10,000 zloty a month, which is the equivalent of, let's say, 2.5 grand, 2,500 American dollars, which is not a lot of money here. But if you're netting that here, you're easily in the top 10% of Poles, without a doubt. But if you want to, you're definitely not bowling. But if you go above that, if you make 20,000 a month or 30,000 a month, you can definitely have a really good life here. And if you bump it up to 40,000 a month, you're easily in the top 1% of Poles. You're considered rich here at this point. Because I know in America, like in California is a perfect example of it. In San Francisco, for instance, like I saw this one little post of a guy. He said that, hey, I'm making almost $400,000 a year, and I'm barely getting by, which is insane to me. It's ridiculous. A guy makes almost $500,000 a year, and he's barely getting by. He's just paying the bills, which wouldn't happen here in Poland. So, the bottom line is, if you want to measure how rich a country actually is, look at your purchasing power. How far does your money take you? Right? That's one of the easiest ways you can evaluate if a country is actually thriving economically, right? So, let's get on to the next one. Number 3. Poland is very traditional, and I love it. Men are men, women are women, and none of that, Western propaganda really gets in our way. We have a very strong, we have some strong leadership here, and none of that Western bullshit comes here. And people are very traditional. They go to church every Sunday, right? Most people have a job here. Most people are employed, and they have a good life. Most Poles have a really good life here. Yes, there's the lower middle class and the working class that are struggling. Yeah, happens like that in every country. But generally speaking, you don't need much to have a good life here. People go to church every Sunday. They're traditional. Women are feminine. Men are being masculine. You can debate this, obviously, because a lot of guys want to say that, men are not being masculine here. And I can agree with that to a certain extent. Particularly with the younger generation. But, overall, the younger generation is messed up in every country today. It's, it happens across the board. Most, particularly men under 30, in almost every single country on the planet, they're so wrong when it comes to things. And that's just how it is. But women here are pretty good. I don't think women here are messed up. Some men want to complain online and say that, women are toxic here and that they're, being feminine, they're being feminist minded. No, that's BS. If you're the guy here, if you're a confident, strong, masculine man, and you take care of your shit, you're not going to struggle with women here. No. Because they like it. They like that chivalry aspect. They like it when you're being masculine and when you're being a little gentleman. They love it here. Because in Norway, because I used to live in Norway too, Norwegian girls are a little bit different. Because in Norway, we have something that is called the janteloven, which basically implies that women are equal to men. And sometimes some women, I would say most women in Norway, take it a little bit too far. They take it a little bit over the edge with their, feminist mind or whatever. But that's just how it is. They're a little brainwashed there. But here, it is all traditional. It's cultural. Like, we have a religion here. People are very religious here. They believe in God. They believe in traditional values, which is amazing to me. Especially with the older generation, they still have moral standards and ethics, which is missing in a lot of countries today. Like, this is why a lot of people say that, Europe is a falling continent. It is definitely, it is being demolished. And there's very few countries in Europe who still have that strong moral compass. So, that's just how it is. Number 4, Polish people are very welcoming. They're very kind and honest. And I love it about Polish people, because there's very few countries on earth that are still like that, in this way. Some people, especially foreigners, they're a little bit shocked. It's a little bit of a cultural shock to them when they meet Polish people for the first time. But generally speaking, they're not mean. They're not being condescending. They're not being evil or distant. That's just in their nature. But if you're normal, if you open them up, if you're being social, you're not going to have a problem with meeting new people here. Definitely not. Nah, hell no. It can actually help you if you're a little foreign, if you have a different accent, for sure. But a lot of people who come here, especially these, influencers and these people who have some kind of social media following, they want to come here and they want to project their own roles, their own religion, and their own ideologies on people. And that's when you usually cross the line in the wrong way. This is when you usually trigger some people here. They can have some, weird feelings about you and all these things, because you're not respecting their country. You're not respecting their standards. You're not respecting their culture, their religion, and their way of living, which to me is mind-boggling. Because generally speaking, if you come to a country and you're a foreigner, right, you should respect that country. If you're an expat and you live in a different country, yes, follow the rules, oblige to them, and be a normal resident of the country. It's normal. But some people are, their minds are a little bit, off the charts, but whatever. This is when you're usually going to face the most resistance, because you're different. You want to criticize Polish people, just like some of these, I've watched some of these videos online, regarding these passport bros. Some of these African guys who came here, they were like, hey, Polish women are sluts, they're hoes, they're difficult, they're, they only want money and all these things. Bro, one, it's so weird, because one, that's just a retarded statement to make, that Polish women are hoes. No. And two, do you really think that you can just come to a country like Poland and just, you really think you can just, jump from girl to girl to girl just by banging every single girl? Bro, that's such a nasty mindset to have. Bro, you're being a freak. You think that Poland is just like Thailand? No. Comparing women to like little objects and little creatures that you just bang, it's so ridiculous to me. But some guys still have that kind of opinion and image of Poland, that you can just come here with your $1,000 and women are just gonna swarm you in circles. No, that's never gonna be the case, at least for now. Now that time of Poland being poor and underdeveloped, it's long gone. You're not gonna impress these chicks with your $1,000. No, fuck no. Some women have money here, and your $1,000 is not enough. You need to bump up your game. You need to become better, my G. Roll up your sleeves and, make some money. But, the point is, Poland is a very homogenic country. Almost every single person that lives here is Polish. Yes, we have a good amount of Ukrainians here. That's a pretty big deal. But generally speaking, most of the people that live here are Polish or come from a Polish descent, which is lovely to me. Which I think is one of the main contributing reasons why Poland is so safe, because we don't have that. We don't have all these mixes of cultures here. We don't have a whole bunch of weird ideologies that are being pushed upon us. So we don't have to bother with them, because it's a distraction, in a long-term perspective. So that's a great thing. Poland is so nice when it comes to this. Okay, number 5. And I've already talked about this a little bit. I kind of, touch the surface level when it comes to this, but Poland is a cheap country. And yes, I know there's a lot of mixed opinions on this. Some Polish people want to say that, Poland is expensive. No, Poland is not expensive. The only Janusz that wants to say this are people who've never traveled outside of Poland. I've been to a lot of countries myself, and this, take it with some heart, man. I lived in Norway. Norway is a lot more expensive than Poland. A hell lot more expensive. You think Warsaw or Poznan is expensive? No, my G, it is not expensive. New York City is expensive for sure, because even if you make 200 grand a year, 300 grand a year, that's just upper middle class. You're not really progressing that much. You're not really thriving. You're not having that kind of baller life. But here, I feel like, the barrier to entry is a lot lower. You have Poland is like a low-hanging fruit. This is actually one of my guys told me, my friend, who lives in London. He's Polish, by the way. He works as a financial analyst or something. And he told me, Martin, like, Poland is the low-hanging fruit. It's so easy for men who are actually willing to put in the work, who are actually successful, and who are willing to really make something out of themselves. And I agree with that statement, 1,000%. You have little competition here if you're actually the man. And even in relationships, it is not that difficult to be a high-value man here. So, when it comes to, the cost of living here, like I've said, if you make at least 8,000 to 10,000 zloty a month, you can have an okay life here in most Polish cities. In Warsaw, I would definitely say you need a little bit more to have a good life, but still, it's nothing, completely crazy where you can't even survive. Because a lot of people in America, they need to have 2-3 jobs just to survive. 2 normal ass regular jobs. So it is not that difficult to have a good life here, even with less money. So yes, Poland is cheap. Food is pretty cheap. Drinks, groceries, and all these things. Public transit, taxis are really cheap here. Gas is also pretty cheap. It's not that expensive. But you can definitely have a good life here without too much struggle financially. If you have a good job, or even if you're a business owner, it's not going to be too difficult for you. So, I think that's about it, guys. Oh, by the way, I have a bonus point which I'm a little bit hesitant to share with you guys, but I'll do it anyway. I'm probably going to ruffle some feathers here and there with some Polish folks, but I don't give a damn, alright? Let's do it. Let's roll. So, Polish people don't appreciate their country. And I've seen this with a lot of Polish guys, man. They're always complaining that their country is bad, that it's because of, their country is suffering because of this and that. So many Polish people have this victim mentality that their country is terrible and because of this. And that's actually a great opportunity for people like you and I, because we're actually willing to put in the work. We're willing to sacrifice, we're willing to, put in a lot of work. We're willing to actually become something in this country. And while they're going to stay stagnant, they're not going to progress, which, again, is a tremendous opportunity for people like you and I. So I think you should appreciate it, because this is not going to be here forever, particularly now with, with the war going on in Ukraine. And, it's a little bit over the fence with what's actually going to happen. And hopefully, I believe that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are going to sort us out with the president of Ukraine and Russia. But that's it for now. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Just take a look at the sky, man. The skyline is looking beautiful. We just had a gorgeous day in Poland, but that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I wish you all a beautiful day. All right? Stay strong.